Okay, let's dive right into this. You've probably noticed it, right? Some of the absolute sharpest, most brilliant people you know can sometimes seem, well, a little slow on the uptake. It's this weird paradox that we all see, but it's also something we totally misunderstand. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and figure out what's really going on.
So let's just ask the question right up front. Why is it that in a fast-moving conversation or a big meeting at work, the people who end up having the most profound things to say are often the last ones to say it? It feels completely backward, doesn't it? But you're about to see that it actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, let's call it the slow person's paradox. It's that feeling, you know the one, that frustrating gap when you're in a conversation. Your brain is firing on all cylinders, making all these amazing connections, but your mouth just can't keep up.
And look, let's be real. Our world is all about speed. We celebrate the witty comeback, the instant analysis, the person who has an answer for everything, right now. But here's the thing. Deep, actual thinking, it just doesn't work that way. It needs a second to breathe, to really connect the dots.
I mean, does this hit home for anyone else? You finally put together this perfect, well-thought-out point, only to look up and realize everyone else is already talking about something completely different? It can make you feel like you're constantly playing catch-up.
Okay, but this is where we're going to flip this whole idea on its head. What if that delay, that thing that feels like slowness, isn't a weakness at all? What if it's not a bug, but a feature? Seriously, what if it's your secret superpower?
To really get what this superpower is all about, we have to look at what's actually happening inside the brain. And thankfully, psychology gives us a fantastic way to understand the massive difference between a fast reaction and a deep, considered thought.
So you can think about it like this. On one side, you've got your quick reaction. That's your gut, your intuition, it's immediate and surface level. But on the other side, you've got what's called deep modeling. And this is where the real work happens. Instead of just blurting out that first intuitive thought, the mind actually stops and asks, wait a minute, is that right? It builds a whole mental model of the problem.
And that brings us to the science behind it all, the power of reflection. That little pause that we've been talking about, it isn't empty time. It is probably the most productive, most important part of the entire thinking process.
The official name for this is cognitive reflection, and the most important word in that definition is override. It's the active choice to stop your first easy answer and dig deeper. You know that famous riddle, a bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much is the ball? Your gut screams 10 cents. But cognitive reflection is what makes you pause, do the math, and realize the correct answer is actually 5 cents. That's the override in action.
So here's what that process looks like step by step. You hear a question. Instantly, an intuitive answer pops into your head. And for a lot of people, that's the end of it. But for a reflective thinker, this is where the interesting part begins. Step 3, that pause. That's the whole game. It's the moment you question your own gut. You start that deep modeling we talked about, and only then do you come up with an answer that's actually worth hearing.
So you see, it's really time we completely reframe this. This isn't a bug in your mental software. It's not a glitch. It's a high-end feature, one that's designed for accuracy and depth, not just for speed. And the payoff for this is huge. When you take that moment, you get deeper insights that everyone else misses. And those insights? They lead to more creative, out-of-the-box solutions. Best of all, you make way fewer costly mistakes that come from just shooting from the hip. It all adds up to just being a much better problem solver.
So here's the bottom line. What our fast-paced world might label as slow is actually the sound of a powerful engine turning over. It's the quiet, focused work of a brilliant mind, building something solid and meaningful, not just spitting out the first thing that comes to mind. It's a sign of intelligence, not the other way around.
And that kind of leaves us with one big question to think about, doesn't it? In this world that's obsessed with quick fixes and instant answers, you have to wonder, what are we losing? What incredible ideas and important truths are we sacrificing just because we aren't willing to take a moment to actually think deep?